welcome. We are here in the show floor at Sensors Converge 2022 in San Jose, and I'm joined by Sven Beiker from Silicon Valley Mobility. Hi Sven, how are you doing?
Doing well, absolutely.
Amazing. And Sven, I think we've been keeping you busy here at the show. Not only are you part of our advisory board, but we've been chairing our smart sensors.
That's right.
Track.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what you've been hearing at the conference. What are some of the key conversations you've been
Absolutely. No, really good conversations and presentations as well. So I chaired the, as you say, the smart sensor and sensor fusion track. We had 6 sessions, and for one, really quite interesting to see in the sense of smart sensors, that you are putting more and more intelligence into the sensor. So sensor used to be a particularly smart thing for one thing, right? To just sense something. But now all the intelligence is going into it, and it's going to become more and more miniaturized, and that is incredible what they are putting in there. So they are talking what used to be system on a chip, so SoC is now system in a sensor. And so we had great applications. My background is in automotive, but the applications we had about TWS, a term that I learned, it's true wireless stereo or true wireless headphones, like these earbuds that everybody has. There's so many sensors in there. I'm sure we can use some of those for automotive topics as well, because they're getting so small, and I think you have up to 3 motion sensors in your earbuds. That's amazing. And then sensor fusion, I mean, with artificial intelligence and software innovation, what's happening there, that again, the sensor itself already says, that's a cat. You want to watch out for that cat.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, as long as it can identify the cat, because I think sometimes it gets confused and thinks it's a loaf of
Cats
bread.
and dogs might be, depending on the size.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Sure.
Well, you mentioned your background, automotive, mobility. Let's go in that direction. What are some of the key trends we should look out for, perhaps for the next year until we're back here in San Jose?
Well, let's see. I mean, certainly trends. Autonomous driving is still continuing the, let's say, forefront of mobility, as we like to call it. So not just the automobile, but how do we use it in terms of what is our mobility? And there, autonomous driving is still the next frontier. And that's continues to be a trend, and sensors are super important in that. But the exact trend, there's a lot of debate. Where it used to be, well, we have to have these laser sensors, right? But now the debate is, right? Really? Or can we do without? And a lot of talk now about 4D radar and imaging radar technology. So there's a lot of stuff happening in that field. That's amazing. And then the whole suite of sensors. There were quite a few talks also about ultrasonic sensors, which you use for parking, like beep, 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 beep. And they're getting more and more range, and through MEMS technologies, even cheaper. That you can think even more of them on a car. So definitely more sensors, more sensing, pretty amazing field.
So you mentioned you've taken the train, you've driven down here to San Jose.
That's right.
Are you are we gonna see you coming next year on a driverless vehicle, an autonomous vehicle?
Not next year, Alejandro, not next year. And the verdict is still out when that's gonna happen, right? I might, maybe not next year, but let's say in a couple of years, maybe a driverless ride from the train station to here. So really geo-fenced and well understood setting, that yes, but all the way from Palo Alto down here. There are all these mattresses on the road and potholes and stuff. You don't really want to know what's on the road.
A lot of complexity.
And that's tough for sensors, right?
Yeah.
So that's why, please, the field should work even more on amazing sensor technology to detect mattresses on the road.
Well, listen, Sven, we were just talking about how great it is to actually talk to a person. A lot of folks walking around the show floor and the conference and the tracks you've been chairing. What do you think the value is in coming out here to shows like Sensors and others that are finally coming back and hopefully consistently so in person?
I absolutely hope so. So I was really missing like the in-person experience, and I guess many of us had a hard time actually saying what's really missing, other than so much better if you're in person. But it's really when you are standing at the booth and holding the thing, and then you notice something, right? And that someone else chimes in like, well, have you thought about this? That you really have people come together and talk about the same thing, as opposed to, yeah, you can have like a virtual conference and you put something in the chat box and everything. It's just not the same thing. And it's great really to see the turnout here. And what I mentioned earlier, everybody at his or her comfort level engaging with one another. I guess we all have to learn to some extent to be back. But people are back, and that's great and makes such a much more richer experience.
Absolutely. Sven, thank you so much for your
You're
time.
welcome.
It's great to see you in person
Yep.
and here in San Jose with us, and hope to see you again next year with us and helping us
Absolutely.
set these trends in motion.
We'll be back, absolutely. Good
Thanks so
show.
much.
Thanks.